The animated Anarchy series presents the animated Hour of Power.
All right, brand new intro, which means brand new show, same YouTube channel, brand new series. So we're starting off. We finished all the drafting, 335 parts of it. And we are here. The animated Anarchy series is officially kicking off tonight. This is the animated Hour of Power. I am, of course, your host, Dutchy, joined as always by MoneyE.
What's up?
Shawn is here.
Hello.
And our wild card with a headband is here.
Let's go.
All right. For anybody that has not been really paying attention, which is usually us, we are starting a new series tonight. It is called the Animated Anarchy series. This is the animated Hour of Power. We have 61 people that have 4 cartoons in their division. 244 cartoons are battling here. This kicks off a long series. I'm going to have a series of one-on-one matchups. 5 categories in each matchup. We're going to figure out what the 5 categories are in just a few seconds. But it's a best of 5 matchup. If a cartoon wins 3-0, they get 30 points. If they win 3-1, they get 20. If they win 3-2, they get 10. And the loser gets 5. If a cartoon is swept, they lose 10 points. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight or not, but tonight's battles are Black Clover versus Sailor Moon, Rick and Morty versus King of the Hill, G.I. Joe Real American Hero versus SpongeBob SquarePants, and the main event is Transformers versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, before we get to that, we got to find out exactly what our categories are tonight. So we're going to hit the randomizer. I'm going to share the screen, which I've done so many times over the last several weeks. Share it. All right. So our 11 categories are voice acting, theme song, fan base, animation style, merchandise, memorable moments, humor, originality, cultural impact, overall enjoyment, and character development. Now I'm going to hit this randomizer. I'm only going to do it once. And then the first 5 categories that come up are the ones we're going to do. So, is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, hit this once. And all right. We are going to go with cultural impact, voice acting, and overall enjoyment. So, and of course, my pen wants to run out of ink. You know, these pens cost like $30. You think they'd work, or at least a pack of them costs $30. All right, overall enjoyment, fan base, and theme song. I think overall or fan base appeared over overall enjoyment, but mix it up a little bit. All right, so we got our first battle, which is going to be Black Clover versus Sailor Moon. So without any further ado, we will start with our first battle here in the Animated Anarchy series. Black Clover versus Sailor Moon and the cultural impact. It's 2 animes. By the way, Black Clover is in the division for Rose Stranahan. Sailor Moon is in Jordan Zavala's division. Two people that I work with, so I've been trying to get them to fight all week.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I love it.
Didn't really work, but but two anime. So cultural impact. It kind of, because anime isn't necessarily. Obviously, it's more popular in Japan. It has kind of gained a following, in the States over the last, 35, 40, maybe 40 years, whatever it may be. Sailor Moon, I think, is more well-known in the States than Black Clover is. But Black Clover is, well...
It's a newer anime.
Dave, I know you're kind of like nodding back and forth, but I've never heard of Black Clover until you gave it to me to put on the list.
Yep.
Same here.
So, but Black Clover also has, obviously impact overseas, and it has an impact, obviously, on anime fans. Dave happens to be one. That's why all these anime shows made it on here, because Dave offers a different perspective than just a regular cartoons. But I'm going to go ahead and Dave, because anime is your thing, I'm going to start with you. As far as cultural impact goes, who got the nod?
Yeah, this one's going to have to be Sailor Moon. Cultural impact, it's got the longevity from the 90s, giving it much more time to, cultivate a fan base and across different generations, so more people know it as well. So and it's sold more merchandise as well. So it's definitely had more of an impact on the people than Black Clover has.
Okay. Shawn, or Eric, did you just raise your hand so you could go next?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess according to Eric, F you, Shawn, and Eric, you can go ahead and go.
I'm volunteering. Sailor Moon for me too.
You're budging ahead in line. That's what you're doing. You're not volunteering. You're budging ahead.
All right.
Sorry. I picked Sailor Moon because it does have a cultural impact with, especially women, the girls.
Yep.
Strong, independent women like Sailor Moon.
Yeah, and she's also a very popular cosplay for Comic-Cons, right?
Yep. Yes, she definitely is.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, Eric made sure your voice didn't matter in this category, but I'm going to go to you anyway.
I was picking Sailor Moon as well. Mainly because I saw some online that there's a large majority of the fan base that call themselves like the Moonies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I thought that was funny.
All right. So Sailor Moon up 1-0. They win 2 more categories. They sweep. They get 30 points. And Black Clover loses 10, and then Bugs Bunny laughs at Dave. Because Dave said a few weeks ago, Bugs Bunny does not stand a chance in the same division as Black Clover. Now, albeit this is only the first battle, so we shouldn't really be talking too much trash yet, but that is my thing. So
it's up against another good anime. I can't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and that's why first episode needs to be big.
Yeah.
Which is what I decided to do here. All right, second category is voice acting. Obviously, 2 animes, so if you watch the English version, which I had to, because I was definitely not going to pay enough attention to the subtitles, and I can't speak Japanese. I can barely speak English. So, it's dubbed over by American actors, both shows. But they do a very good job, especially... I especially liked the voice actor that does Astra in Black Clover, because I think he really nails it home.
Mm-hmm.
But Sailor Moon, perfect. They had the perfect person. And again, I really don't know their names, but
the main character is Asta.
Well, no, I'm talking about the voice actors, Dave.
Okay.
But like the girl that voices Sailor Moon, it's obviously it's a generic, voicing for a female anime character. But all right, Shawn, because your voice was not allowed to be heard because Eric is selfish. I'm going to start with you on this one. Who gets the nod in voice acting?
I'm giving it to Black Clover. I just think the acting was a lot better than Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon kind of was like annoying to me. Kind of like I don't know. I didn't like Sailor Moon.
Okay, I got you.
I'll just be honest. I didn't like it.
Yeah. All right. Eric, we'll go to you next.
I'm going with Black Clover too. I just think it was more cleaner and more impactful.
Okay. All right. Dave, go ahead. I mean, we know who's going to win the round, but
Yeah, I was going with Black Clover too. The voices were more audibly pleasing. It was better. Like it would make the characters more likable, for sure.
okay. All right. 1-1. So somebody's either going to walk out of here with 20 points, or somebody's going to walk out of here with 10 points, and then 5. So nobody's getting swept. Nobody's getting points taken away from them. But
Nobody's
your next
getting minus points.
Huh?
Nobody's getting negative points.
Yeah. Next, we are at overall enjoyment. This is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go into the explanation anyway. Which did you enjoy more, Sailor Moon or Black Clover? For me personally, I like Black Clover better. But my voice does not need to be heard. Technically, it does need to be heard. It just doesn't need to be listened to. Because I'm not judging here. These three guys are. But Dave, we'll start with you first.
Yeah,
overall enjoyment. Who gets it?
I'm definitely on Black Clover on this one. It was definitely more exciting. The battle scenes were pretty exciting, and the story and plot were pretty interesting, I gotta say.
Shawn, we'll go to you next.
Black Clover.
Okay.
Like Dave said, like the battle scenes were a lot better. I think the storyline keeps you more engaged. Sailor Moon sucks.
All right.
I have a real vendetta against Sailor Moon. I don't know why.
Well,
let me go first on the theme song one. I'll tell you why.
If we get there. Remember, we got a whole nother category first. But Eric, go ahead and finish us off here.
I'm going with Black Clover too. I thought it kept me more invested.
Okay. All right. Black Clover just needs one more category to win this thing and get 20 points.
I'm actually watching one right now.
We're at fan base. We just talked about it. The fan base. You see a lot of people dressed up as Sailor Moon at Comic-Cons and conventions.
Yeah.
How many people do you see dressed up as Astra or Asta? I apologize. As Asta or
Probably just as much, I would think. Depends on which
at a regular. I mean, maybe at like an anime convention.
Yeah.
But at like a regular, I'm talking like regular Comic-Con.
Oh, definitely Sailor Moon.
Yeah. So, but judging on the fan bases, Eric, I'll let you go first. Fan base, who takes it?
It's Sailor Moon because it's been around longer, and I think it's more impact with a lot of more people, at least in America.
All right. Shawn?
Can I give it a tie?
No.
Damn. No, just for what we just discussed, I'll do Sailor Moon. I'll pick Sailor Moon.
All right.
She is more characterized, I guess.
Right. All right, Dave. Obviously, they already won the category, but go ahead.
Granted, Black Clover has had a recent fan base boom. That's not who I'm picking. I'm picking Sailor Moon, but online and Reddit, social medias, Black Clover has been receiving more traction. But over the years and how many global sales and how many copies, like they have, Sailor Moon has 30 million copies sold. I mean, the fan base is completely on a different scale than Black Clover at the moment.
Right. So, all right. 2-2. Somebody's walking out of here with 10. Somebody's walking out of here with 5. Theme song. Now, obviously, anime theme songs, they're not really, some are in English. Some are not. I believe Sailor Moon's is not. But I watched it like 6 days ago, so I don't necessarily remember. But both, catchy theme songs, whether you can understand the words or not. But who had the better theme song, Dave?
Black Clover, all the way. It was just more my tempo, more my style of an intro. It got you kind of a little hype. Like it had a nice go to it. Nice spot.
Eric?
I'm going with Sailor Moon. I just liked it a little better. But this is the first time somebody has disagreed.
Yeah. Shawn, you're the tiebreaker.
Black Clover. So much better than hearing Sailor Moon 20,000 times in a theme song opening.
Okay.
Is it Mercury? No, it's Sailor Moon. Okay, cool.
Good to know.
Good to know. You said it. You already told me 7 times who I was watching, so.
Yeah. All right. Black Clover wins at 3-2. They're gonna they're gonna get 10, and I'm gonna write it down on my phone in just in a little bit. But I've also got it written down on my notebook here. Black Clover's gonna get 10 points. Sailor Moon's gonna get 5. So it was split. It was close. But Black Clover is able to inch it out. Right on.
I have
to
it
the
on my
next
phone too, Doug. If you need, if just in case you need me to send it to you.
Cool. All right, right on to the next one, and this one is going to be fun for at least 3 of us. Rick and Morty versus King of the Hill. Now, Rick and Morty, Shawn's favorite show. So we're not gonna, rip it apart maybe too much. I don't know. Eric likes to troll, but that's because, he's a jerk. So.
Well, Shawn trolls me all the time, so I can't get. I have to.
No, I don't.
You just called him Schlong.
I'm like your best friend, Eric.
All right. So anyway, opening category is cultural impact. King of the Hill ran for 13 years. Rick and Morty, it's now back for a 14th season. They just brought it back. Rick and Morty has gone for, I think, 12, right? Because it started in 2013.
Yes.
So they almost started around the same time.
King of the Hill started in 2007.
Oh.
And went to 20 or no, they started in 1997, went to 2010.
And then they just brought it back.
They just brought it back now. They just brought it back for a 14th season now.
So that's why the first episode, that's the episode I watched, was called Return of the King.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. But King of the Hill obviously had such a cultural impact that they brought it back.
Yep.
Now, they advanced everything because Bobby's no longer a little kid. He's an adult.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rick and Morty, it just depends, because there are a lot of people, and we'll get the fan base later, I'm pretty sure. But who had the bigger impact? And Shawn, I'm going to start with you, even though I know what you're going to say.
I want to say King of the Hill,
Okay.
because I think shows like King of the Hill paved the way for shows like Rick and Morty to start.
Exactly.
Well, because I think the only because they were Fox's second adult animated series, right? Like I know USA or MTV had Beavis and Butthead and Daria, but you had Simpsons that ran for so long, and then they tried another adult animated show in King of the Hill.
Yep.
And it worked.
And then Family Guy.
Yeah.
Was Family Guy after King of the Hill?
Yeah.
No, they were on the same time, weren't they?
No, they started in 99.
99. Right. I always thought they were 96 or something. 97.
King of the Hills started actually around the same time as South Park.
Oh wow.
Yep.
All right, Dave, I'm gonna go to you next.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with King of the Hill here as well. I mean, they even had an audience in the past at one point outperforming The Simpsons, in some cases. So, I mean, like Shawn said, they paved the way for newer shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this one was kind of tough for me because Rick and Morty does have a high and active fan base, so it was definitely hard to pick. But I mean, even with King of the Hill, I mean, they had more revenue made as well throughout the years. So,
all right, Eric, go ahead.
King of the Hill. The fact that they brought it back says everything.
Right.
You don't bring back a show unless it's demanded.
Right. Exactly. All right, King of the Hill's up 1-0. We're gonna move on to voice acting. In King of the Hill, you have Mike Judge, who created the show, but he also voices Hank Hill. Kathy Najimy, who is a very underrated actress. She voiced Peggy. Brittany Murphy, before she passed away, she voiced Peggy's niece, Luann. Pam Adelton voiced Bobby. Over in Rick and Morty, they have a great the voice acting does a very good job there. I don't remember everybody's names off the top of my head, probably because I didn't look it up. And that's my fault. But the voice acting, like every character in both shows seems like they're very unique because of the voice that they are given.
This one is hard.
I'm glad you said that because I'm starting with you.
With that said, it's hard for both because I think both voice acting was pretty good in both. But I preferred King of the Hill, so I'm going King of the Hill.
Okay. Shawn, go ahead.
Rick and Morty. I think Roland and Harmon are very talented and just naturally funny voice actors.
All right. Dave, looks like you're breaking a tie here.
Yeah, the voice acting for me, I have to go with Rick and Morty here.
Okay.
Just thought their voice acting was a little more entertaining and really captivated you into the show a little more. Like Rick and Morty really played their parts really well. I mean, so I mean, and like the hiccups and like acting drunk like as Rick, I mean, that's got to be kind of difficult to do.
Yeah,
just the dialogue they have and like the dialogue that they're saying, their scripts and stuff.
Right. All right.
That's the way I felt about King of the Hill. So,
what did you just say?
No, never mind.
No, I was just gonna say you broke up.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that's how I felt about what these two said about Ricky and Morty. I felt about King of the Hill.
For God's
sake. Rick and Morty. That's it. Deduct a point from them. Eric just screwed their team.
The thing is I don't think if he's doing it on purpose, I'm going to go over to his house right now and put my foot in his ass.
No, I'm not doing it on purpose.
But I'm pretty sure, like, it's just something that, just comes in his head because we have a friend named John who spells his name John. This idiot, for as long as we've known this guy, cannot spell this guy's name right. He keeps forgetting the H because he knows another guy named John who spells it Jon. And the other guy has even said, Eric, spell my name right, please. After 8 years, he still has yet to do so. So I don't think he does it on purpose. I think it's just that's the way his mind thinks that it's supposed to go. He thinks it's supposed to be Ricky and Morty.
I have an uncle named Ricky. That's why.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah. So like it's just like it's gonna irritate the crap out of us, but that's pretty much like. Because so he just doesn't do it for like it happens all the time, but I think that's just like the thing.
I'm used to saying Ricky.
Yeah,
I have an uncle named
yeah.
Ricky.
So, but all right. So be that as it may, that's my first big rant of the night. All right. So they're tied 1-1. Nobody's going for a sweep. Overall enjoyment. Shawn, I know where you're going with this. So I am going to start with you, but all right, the question is, who's murdering their child? But also, the other question.
The real question is, they know I'm on a podcast. Why not get the kid away?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm picking Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Love the show. And without like Rick and Morty, you wouldn't have like, High on Life, the video game, which was fun to play. You wouldn't have Solar Opposites, because that's done by the same guys. Other than, I think, Roland. I think he got in trouble, and now he's gone. But Rick and Morty all day. I can watch that show a lot more than King of the Hill. I feel like King of the Hill is kind of boring at times, and
Yeah.
Rick and Morty always has some chaoticness happening in some fashion.
Right.
And then the only chaos you see in King of the Hill is when the propane don't turn on.
Pretty much. All right, Eric.
King of the Hill. I didn't like Rick and Morty, so that's all I'll say.
Well, and the funny thing is that I watched it and I'm just like, and then I watched it and I'm just like, how the hell can anybody enjoy this show? Because it really wasn't my thing. But then I remember one of Shawn's hobbies, so then I figured it out. So, because to me, Rick and Morty is Back to the Future on drugs.
Honestly, that's the whole inspiration is
I'm pretty sure that's like the whole premise of the thing, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's like the whole setup to it, only it's futuristic.
Yeah.
I mean, they do go back in the past, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically the whole concept.
And
But
I grew up with more King of the Hill, so
Right.
that's my
But, Rick and Morty is working. But, all right, Dave, overall enjoyment, which did you enjoy more?
I'm gonna have to go with Rick and Morty. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, and the episodes were pretty entertaining.
Now, granted, they do get away with a lot more than King of the Hill could have back in the day.
Well, they're also on Adult Swim, and King of the Hill was on
Right.
King of the Hill's on Fox.
But King of the Hill was they weren't being able to say like the really bad adult hidden jokes or with the, ratchet language.
Right, and Rick and Morty was on Adult Swim. That's why they can get away with it.
Yeah.
All right. Rick and Morty's up 2-1. They win this category, they get 20 points. In order for King of the Hill to get points, they have to win this next category. It's fan base. King of the Hill was critically acclaimed for so long, but I see a lot more people in like Rick and Morty t-shirts. And I know this isn't like about like merchandise or whatever, but I see a lot more people kind of touting how good Rick and Morty is more than I see them tout how good King of the Hill is.
I agree with that.
So, but as far as fan base, Dave, who do you give the nod to?
This one was kind of tough. Just because, I mean, King of Hill came out before and started its fan base beforehand, but in now times, I think Rick and Morty's fan base is higher and more active, so I'm gonna have to go with Rick and Morty.
Okay. All right. Eric?
As much as it pains me to say, I'm gonna say Rick and Morty.
All right. All right. Shawn, before you have to go deal with a domestic dispute.
Rick and Morty. Simply because of you do see more people dressing up as Rick or as Morty.
Yeah.
And even back when in the heyday of King of the Hill, you didn't see anybody showing up to a Comic-Con as like anybody from that show.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't think it's not a knock on King of the Hill, because that show was more, I guess, like family oriented than anything else.
Yeah. It kind of followed the same model as
that shuffle of, it's a family show. We're not you can't cross-play like a family show.
Right.
But you can in Rick and Morty, because it's nowadays it is considered an anime. Even though I guess King of the Hill is an anime too, but it wasn't like, what we know as anime.
Right. So.
But yeah, Rick and Morty all day.
All right. Rick and Morty wins 3-1. They get 20 points. King of the Hill does not. Now, of course, Rick and Morty is representing Will Penn for his division. Stephanie Cano, who is a friend of Eric's. She, of course, gets no points. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes. So, but Rick and Morty will get 20 points after a 3-1 victory. All right, here's one I think we were kind of waiting for. Well, I was definitely waiting for. It's G.I. Joe versus Eric's all-time favorite, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Another one I hated.
Matchup of the year right here.
Or as Eric probably likes to refer to him as, SpongeBobby Square Britches.
Well, right behind the door that he hasn't closed yet is a giant photo of SpongeBob. That's why he keeps the door open now, is because he has that poster hung up and he just doesn't want us to know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I hated more, SpongeBob or Rick and Morty.
I'm going to go ahead with Rick and Morty because you still have yet to...
That's rough. You need to play High on Life.
Game's kind of funny.
That game is hilarious.
I think I want to play it now.
It's real short campaign, but it's funny. Like one of those side quest type of games.
All right. So, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero versus SpongeBob SquarePants. First category is cultural impact. Now,
Ooh, this is interesting.
The thing about G.I. Joe, Real American Hero is this whole idea was constructed by Hasbro. Because Hasbro had an idea for military action figures called G.I. Joes. And they needed a show to market so they could promote their toys.
Yep.
So they figured, okay, cartoons are, we're in kind of a big age of cartoons in the 80s. There's a big boom. So this is what we're gonna do. So they created it. They paid off some company to do the animation. Ran for 3 years, took off, but then from 83 to 86, but then in 1989, they had an idea for more figures, so they brought it back. Now, another company produced the episodes, DIC Entertainment. They produced those episodes, but I kind of just combine them together because it's the same thing. There might be different characters in the second set because they may have moved on with like character progression and all, but still, it's the same thing. SpongeBob, as far as cultural impact goes, they're still up and running. They're still popular. G.I. Joe, they because they had a couple of movies come out, they were still popular too. You still see the action figures in vintage toy shops and at Comic Cons. People are always selling G.I. Joe stuff.
Yep.
Or
dressing up like them.
You're dressing up like them. For Halloween, kids, I'm sure, dress up as either Patrick or SpongeBob. I know Eric for Halloween likes to put on a SpongeBob thong.
Lay on his Patrick beach towel.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me $1 million to do that.
Yeah.
Why pay you when you do it for free?
But all right. So as far as cultural impact, Shawn, who gets the nod?
I'm gonna go with G.I. Joe on this one. I think it impacted a lot of, like, a very cool toy line that's, like you said, still going to this day.
Yeah.
And they really hit the nail on, being a military type show, which obviously gets, young kids or young boys at that time like, oh, I'm going to go out and grab a stick. It looks like a rifle. We're going to go shoot some guns. And also, I just think it helped that culture play outside and, probably join the military.
Yep.
It's all government play.
Right. All right. So
but no, I like G.I. Joe. I saw myself getting more into G.I. Joe than SpongeBob because it was more interesting to me.
Yeah. I used to love G.I. Joe when I was a kid.
It's more fun playing with a battle chopper than it was with like an action figure of SpongeBob if they had them.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Dave, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, for cultural impact, I'm gonna have to go with G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. I'm agree with a lot what Shawn said, and then also I had G.I. Joes growing up. Every boy has G.I. Joes growing up. I mean, you get those action figures. Yeah, exactly. So to me, it's when you I've never had any SpongeBob things but this one was a little difficult because, SpongeBob does have a fan base that's pretty big right now, and it's always on TV, always streaming. But I think G.I. Joe, with what it's done and how long its name has been relevant and prominent, then it takes the cake.
Right.
I think G.I. Joe really helped people open up with their imagination, too.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting the action figures and going outside and like, okay, I'm in the forest. It's a treat, like a forest battle. Or then I'm in a sand pit. Or I'm in my mom's garden, like doing all this other really cool stuff with just these 6 action figures or something. And then, they obviously downsize them. But
yeah,
making your own scenarios.
Still, but you're like, that's, I don't see myself, hey, I'm SpongeBob. Hello, I'm Patrick.
Yeah.
It's like I'm playing with Barbies.
Yeah. It's pretty much what it is. I should mention before we go to Eric, even though, G.I. Joe already won the category anyway, G.I. Joe Real American Hero is representing John Mealy, John, not Jon. And SpongeBob is representing the division of Raven Finley. So, but all right, Eric, we already know who's winning the division, but not the division. We already know who's winning the category, but go ahead.
G.I. Joe on the way.
All right. Voice acting. Now, the voices, Michael Bell is one of the more iconic voice actors because he has lent his name to several voices, which a lot of the guys back in the day, a lot of voice actors back in the day would do that because voice acting gigs really didn't pay a lot of money, so you usually had to take like 5 or 6 gigs at a time. But Michael Bell, who voiced Duke Nukem, he did a fantastic job.
Duke Nukem.
Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah. Or was it? No, Duke Nukem was Captain Planet, I think, but this guy was Duke something. Get my shows, man. I've watched so many cartoons.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but also Sergeant Slaughter. You know, he voiced obviously the Sergeant Slaughter character in the show.
Yep.
Over on the SpongeBob side, though, you have the guy who voiced SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, who did not Tom Kenny. I forgot what for crying out loud. The guy who voiced SpongeBob did a fantastic job. Bill Fagerbakke, he did a fantastic job as a voice of Patrick. So the voice acting in both really adds elements to the characters.
Yeah.
But who did
You were
it?
right. It's Tom Kenny.
It is Tom Kenny?
Yeah.
All right.
And then another dude.
Yeah, Tom Kenny left after a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't pronounce the other dude's name.
Yeah. So, all right. In voice acting, Eric, who are you going with?
I'm going with SpongeBob. I think the voice acting was a little better.
Okay. Shawn?
I agree with Eric. I think SpongeBob wins this one. There were more, I don't know. G.I. Joe just felt like it was just so natural and normalized.
Yeah.
And SpongeBob, they obviously had to like tweak their voice a little bit, and
For all
it was just
audiences,
different.
too.
It was just different to hear, like, the raspiness of voices or the high pitching of voices compared to G.I. Joe. It's just kind of normalized chit chat or military talk.
Right.
More recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with SpongeBob as well. The dialogue for G.I. Joe was a little stale at times when they were talking and conversating.
Okay. All right. Tied 1-1. Nobody's getting the sweep. Nobody's going to lose points on this one. I know that breaks Eric's heart, but
Well, I was one to pick Sponge. I mean, it was going to lose anyway.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
All right. Overall enjoyment. Which did you enjoy better? SpongeBob or G.I. Joe? Dave, I'm going to start with you.
G.I. Joe all the way. I enjoyed it a lot more than I would ever enjoy SpongeBob. I do not enjoy SpongeBob really that much. It's more annoying to me.
He just plays along so we could just tease Eric. What the? Eric's sharpening his knife.
He's ready to cut SpongeBob.
Yeah. All right. Shawn?
For enjoyment, I have to go with G.I. Joe.
Okay.
It was so much more entertaining. Like the battle scenes and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
SpongeBob was primarily just goofy and corny jokes. Which I liked SpongeBob growing up, I'm not going to lie, but not as much as I would have watched G.I. Joe.
Right. All right. Eric?
G.I. Joe. The storylines were better. I enjoyed it more.
Yep.
SpongeBob, I watch it for 5 seconds and turn it off.
Right. All right.
Story
2-1.
arc was better.
Yep,
2-1.
Exactly.
2-1 G.I. Joe. If they win this next category, they get the 20 points, just like Rick and Morty did.
Theme song?
No, the next category is fan base, Shawn.
Oh, is it? I have it mixed up then on my list.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Fan base.
Okay, so this one is going to be... This one's actually kind of tough because if you think about it, like I said earlier, G.I. Joe technically is still popular, especially if you go to like retro conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they made something right now and put out a G.I. Joe movie or something, tons of people are going to watch that.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Even new
Yeah, same.
cartoons.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm immediately watching it.
Yeah. Like that's the thing is that like if they made a comeback, if they made a new cartoon, if they made a new movie, if they, and I'm pretty sure that they've actually re-released a lot of the toys.
So we're already just unanimous. Blah blah blah. We're all picking GI Joe. Honestly.
I mean, does everybody want to say it? Does everybody want to just say that instead of me just going down the line? Or
GI Joe.
I'm
G.I.
not
Joe.
picking. I'm picking GI.
all right,
Ain't nobody but the small dressing up like SpongeBob at a
Like
comic.
SpongeBob does have a big, like, it has a fan base, but I feel like it's more like children and they
Yeah.
grow out of it. And then
Yeah.
you got some people that never grow out of it, but I feel like more people love G.I. Joe and are a fan of G.I. Joe and stay committed and more loyal to G.I. Joe.
yeah.
So,
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like I said, like especially these retro toy conventions, you're going to see a lot, or even just like toy conventions or Comic Cons or something like that. You're going to see a lot more stuff for GI Joe than you are SpongeBob.
yeah.
Just so much more
And-
relatable.
And I've heard G.I. Joe mentioned in a couple rap songs and stuff like that. Never heard SpongeBob.
Will Smith's wife.
So, I mean, yeah, GI Joe. Even though again, it was an '80s cartoon and then was also around in the early '90s. They still have a positive impact on people because you can still find the action figures, you can still find the play sets.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're expensive as
that
all
one-
hell.
What's that one movie? I think it's a Toy Soldiers.
Yeah.
It's not GI Joes, but it's kind of it's basically GI Joes.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
So, all right. GI Joe wins at 3-1. They're going to get 20 points. SpongeBob
Nice.
gets nothing, but they were not swept, so they don't go in the negative. Main event time. Transformers, which is in my brother Daniel Hummer's division, versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who I believe is in Matt's or Eric's friend Kelly's husband's division. So in Matt's division.
This one's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
I
Yeah.
told Doug that this
That's a tough.
earlier in the week. I said this is going to be tough.
So, all right, let's just get right into it. Cultural impact. Transformers, obviously. They were another one, by the way, that you had creators who wanted to make robot toys.
Mhm.
Robot car toys.
Yep.
They needed something to market, or they needed a place to market these things. We'll come up with a cartoon show. Voila, here we are. You know, they had a couple of years. They've had a couple of spinoffs, a few movies. And
Yep.
by the way, last year at RetroCon in Oaks, Pennsylvania, which is about 40 minutes from here. 40 minutes from my house, about 35 minutes from Eric's house. I was not able to go because my check engine light kept coming on in the damn car, and you know, nobody could figure out how to fix it. But they celebrated the 40th anniversary of Transformers at this convention. Michael Bell was at this show. Other voice actors were at this show. They had one of the Transformer cars there, they had a big display. Ninja Turtles, on the other hand, you know, they're still relevant to this day as well.
Yeah.
I also
And-
read somewhere that Ninja Turtles is like the third best toy figure seller behind G.I. Joe and Star Wars.
Wow.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I read that somewhere, I believe.
yeah. And
I could fact check.
I mean,
All this time, I would have said Minecraft. It'd be like the top toy selling.
well, currently probably. But if we're talking like all time, I do believe that. Now,
Yeah.
so you have two shows that have left a huge, two cartoons that have left a huge impact on people. They were a lot of kids. They were my childhood, although I preferred
Right.
Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
All right, Eric's childhood, because Eric's a year older than me.
Yep.
Okay, so both shows were around in his childhood. When Shawn was young, Ninja Turtles was still going. When Dave was young, Ninja Turtles was still going. But Transformers was technically still a thing because I'm pretty sure kids still played with Transformer toys.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn, I know for a fact your brother Daryl, I think, had some.
Oh yeah,
My cousin did.
Cool.
My cousin was a huge.
I know we had a
fan.
few Transformers and a few of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. I know for a fact that your brother Daryl was into that stuff because that's a couple of things him and I talked about when we were kids. And same thing. Your brother Mike, because your brother Mike and I are closer. Well, your brother Daryl's 3 years older than me. Your brother Mike, I think, is like only a year or two younger than me.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I used to talk about that stuff with those guys all the time. But so this is a hard category, I think, because of the impact both shows have left, and both franchises have left, by the way.
Yeah, they both have left huge impacts.
So if somebody can muster an answer, Shawn, I'll start with you.
Cultural impact. I'll go. Jeez, this is harder than I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
This is why this is the main event, guys.
Right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I think just all more around their. I don't know. I don't want to say they're more recognizable, but I just think maybe the fan base on that side takes the edge for how much they can play as the characters at Comic-Cons. How much, more popular toy line was probably at, better video games. So I would,
Yeah, and here's the thing. When we did the Cartoon Classic, I know I may have thrown a hissy fit when Ninja Turtles lost. But here, the thing is that one, Ninja Turtles wouldn't be out if they lost, because they're going to have multiple matches here. But also, too, this is really hard because of how much of an impact Transformers has also had on people.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I think like the last Transformer movies with Shia LaBeouf and stuff, I think that brought it back to being cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know it's a movie and technology has increased to make that easier to accomplish, but I think that really brought it back to life.
Yeah. But I feel like it died when Wahlberg took the stand in place of Shia. Because I did not like that movie.
You're more likely to run into a kid dressed as a Ninja Turtle on Halloween than you would somebody that's dressed up like a Transformer.
Right.
And it is hard to do that as a Transformer, but I've seen videos of, smart dads or smart parents finding ways to make them out of cardboard.
I used to see, back when I lived
they fold up and fold out.
Yeah.
When I used to say, I'm pretty sure that back in the day, when I used to live in the trailer park that Shawn currently lives in, I'm pretty sure I've seen kids trick or treat as Optimus Prime.
Yeah, back then it was like, I'm saying nowadays it's more likely to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it's still keeping the concept of like the onesie.
Yeah.
They weren't back then. It was the same thing with Transformers. It was a onesie with just the graphic of whoever you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
with a mask.
With a mask or something. And nowadays it's so technical.
Yeah.
You're not a Transformer if you're not really transforming.
Eric, I'm going to go to you next.
I'm going with Ninja Turtles too. I just think it had more. They both had impacts in different ways, but the fact that I think Ninja Turtles was just more impact. Yeah.
Right. All right, Dave, go ahead.
Oh, this one was tough for me, but
Ninja Turtles won the category.
Yeah. No, this one was a tough decide for me, but Ninja Turtles as well. And I fact checked myself. It definitely is one of the highest toy sellers in the world, only behind G.I. Joe and Star Wars.
Yep.
That is not surprising. I mean, all right. So there is a toy shop, and this has nothing to do with any of the categories, but I'm going to say this anyway. A couple weeks ago, when I was in Dave and Shawn's neck of the woods, there's a toy shop in Tonawanda, New York, called That 80s Toy Shop.
Mm-hmm.
I went into that establishment after trying to get there for like 4 or 5 days. I was in town for 8 days, and I had been trying for 7 days to get there. But they were either closed or I had to deal with family business because, that's what happens. I finally get there, and this guy has totes of old school Ninja Turtle stuff. But he has shelves full of Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, because he gets Transformers in daily. And by the way, he sells them. He sells the Ninja Turtles. They go, and they're hot items to take to retro toy conventions.
Yeah,
So,
I believe so.
All right, we're going to move on to the next category. Ninja Turtles is up 1-0. Voice acting. Now, kind of like G.I. Joe, the Ninja Turtle or the Transformers voice acting is I feel like it's kind of dry. With
it's stale.
Yeah. With Ninja Turtles, it's kind of like, they add that, tubular, Michelangelo and, Michelangelo, Raphael, they really have distinctive voices.
It's a little more personality into their voice, I feel.
Yeah. So, Dave, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I'm going with the Turtles on this. Like you said, Transformers, it was a little stale with the dialogue. I get it, they're robots, but I mean, you can make them a little more likable. I love the Turtles, man. Their way they interact with each other, and Mikey goofing off and stuff like that. It just makes you really relate to them and how their voices really amplified that character.
Right. All right, Eric.
I'm going Turtles too. I thought it was more cleaner and more enjoyable to listen to, but that doesn't mean I didn't like Transformers.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely not. Shawn.
I just wanted to clear that out.
Ninja Turtles. The actors were better. Like Dave said, more personality behind the character, and they were funny.
Okay, this is going to be a tough one and by the way, Transformers technically needs to win this category to avoid losing 10 points. But overall enjoyment. Again, what did you enjoy more? Did you enjoy Ninja Turtles more? Did you enjoy Transformers more? Shawn?
Ninja Turtles. It was more enjoyable because, again, there were more personality behind the characters. There was a better story plot, I think, behind the characters. The villains weren't shown as they weren't repetitive, I guess, as much. I mean, you still had Splinter, the other main one, but they never really if he even got defeated, he didn't come back as weak. It's kind of like Transformers kind of did. But
yeah. By the way, Splinter's the leader. Shredder's the villain.
Shredder, thank you. Yeah. So, they never really made Shredder look weak, even if he lost in a fight. And
more comedic than weak.
Yeah, more comedic than weak.
Yeah.
But even just the fight scenes were better than watching, robots blow stuff up all the time.
Yeah.
Shoot some lasers.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Transformers was great to watch, and it was very entertaining, but I had my most enjoyment watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. Dave?
I would have to agree with Shawn here with the Turtles. It's definitely more enjoyable.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
That was really
It's definitely Turtles. Just more entertainment, and if I had to pick which one to watch for a week, it would be Turtles.
Okay.
And I feel like the Turtles also had more like different villains, different missions that they would do. The Transformers, I felt like it was kind of like they're always battling the same guys.
Well,
So
and
Right. Yeah,
the,
it never changed.
the
yeah,
funny thing is that a lot of these characters were developed so they can make it. It's the same premise as GI Joe and Transformers. A lot of these characters were developed. So, I mean, one, because they were in the comics,
yep,
Yeah.
but also two, they wanted to make new action figures because they didn't want the same line to always be the same 4 or 5 guys.
I think Transformers got more serious when the actual movies started coming out, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles still kept the comedic side of it.
Yeah.
yep.
And it just worked so much better. I mean, I love the Transformer movies; they're great, but they got funny moments, but it just felt more action packed than anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, you should know what we're about. Here you go. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie came out. They're like, no, we're gonna let you know, like, the little backstory real quick, and how the rat found his turtles.
Yeah.
And why they love pizza, and why they love that girl, and
Yeah. Why they study martial arts.
Crumpet.
Yeah.
You got to understand what cricket is before you understand Crumpet.
All right. So we had our first sweep. I did not expect it to come from this.
Yeah. There was just, because of the categories, I just think
Yeah.
it just went that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Because Transformers theme song was definitely better than Ninja Turtles, in my opinion.
Yeah. So if we would have gotten that far, they would have had.
Yep.
Now, of course, that means
I actually had
Ninja
Ninja Turtles for a theme song.
Ninja Turtles gets 30 points. Transformers gets 10 taken away. So they're going to start at -10. Oh, there's going to be people upset at us.
Your brother.
Yeah, well, it's my brother especially, but my brother also, he's kind of buttering his bread on The Simpsons.
Dang.
So he thinks The Simpsons is going to be his division winner.
Okay. It's not a bad pick.
Just
But-
curious, can I ask this question?
Go ahead.
For animation, which one would you guys have it picked?
If animation would have been a category,
Transformers.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because of, like, the action alone in it with the lasers and explosions and stuff.
so
Just wanted to
that
see
just
if I
goes
was
to
alone
show
with
the
that.
categories really make the difference here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, the categories make the difference.
Yeah, they do.
And
But- Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would have wiped the floor with the other category of, like, merchandise and stuff.
yeah, I mean, it would have been close because again, and Transformers did a lot of merch.
They
Character,
still do.
but what about character development?
Well, I mean, Ninja Turtles.
That would be Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, yep.
Originality?
Originality, I want to see
Maybe.
Transformers.
That one's tough.
No,
That
because
one-
I think it's harder to write a story about 4 turtles that know karate.
Dave, when did Voltron come out?
Oh man. I'll have to look that up, bro.
But that was 80s, wasn't it?
For which one?
Voltron,
1984.
same year as Transformers.
Yeah. Transformers came out, what, Generation 1?
Yeah,
The first one?
and by the way, and I know Voltron is considered more of an anime, but
Dun, 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 dun,
it's
dun.
more the same year. So, originality, humor would have gone to Ninja Turtles.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
100%.
All right, so the results of tonight's show: Black Clover defeats Sailor Moon 3-2. Black Clover gets 10 points. Sailor Moon gets 5. Rick and Morty defeats King of the Hill 3-1. So Rick and Morty gets 20 points. G.I. Joe Real American Hero defeats SpongeBob 3-1. They get 20 points. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles defeats Transformers 3-0 in a sweep. Ninja Turtles gets 30 points. Transformers loses 10, but we're a long way from being over. A long way.
Very long.
So, all right. Now, we are going to, when we sign off here, we are going to, of course, pre-record the very first episode of Animated Showdown, which will be available this Wednesday. Eric said he was going to put it out. And on that episode of Animated Showdown, the following matches will be... where do I have it here? The following matches will be Hunter x Hunter versus Dragon Ball Z, Gargoyles versus Attack on Titan, DuckTales versus Rugrats, and Bob's Burgers versus the Flintstones. Now, next week on this show, on the Animated Hour of Power, we are going to have Real Monsters versus the Real Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Dave, you're going to like this. Yu Yu Hakusho versus Doug.
Okay.
Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget versus Biker Mice from Mars. And next week's main event is Avatar: The Last Airbender versus Digimon.
Okay.
That's going to be a nice matchup.
So that is next week. All right. Make sure to
one.
like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. That's where you're going to find everything that we're doing with this series. We'll be on the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. So both shows will be available on there. Every week going forward, it will be Animated Hour of Power and Animated Showdown. Also, follow Dave on Twitch at TCXGodSend95. Shawn at...
Other way, Dave. Other way.
Yeah. Shawn at TTAX Reaper on TikTok. Are you still on YouTube and Twitch?
Yeah, I just took I stream primarily on TikTok now.
All right.
He took a sabbatical for a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Also, follow Eric's Unscripted Sports Show. Also, the Wrestling Through the Years podcast, Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This upcoming Friday night, we're going to talk SummerSlam 2000. Also, my brother Daniel's Gaming Universe, Dizzle 97. Follow that channel. The Stabcast with Daniel and Mindy, which is on Sundays. And obviously, like and subscribe to everything. That's how you stay up to date. And... yeah, so, all right, this was our premiere of Animated Hour of Power. I think that there was a little bit of surprise as far as, like, how the points went out.
I don't know. I don't know if we're doing this together. I was Power Ranger, like.
No, this is the Shadow Clone Jitsu from Naruto.
Oh.
But,
No, we're the Four Horsemen.
well, more like 4 horse races.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Eric,
anyway,
we got to
so-
talk after we hit the end of the end live button.
Huh?
Eric's in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So, all right. So, we'll go ahead.
What did I do?
We'll find out when we get off air. All right. We'll see everybody next week. We'll see actually everybody this Wednesday for Animated Showdown and later.
Peace out.
All right. Take it easy, everybody.